The same is true of why we are here today. When just 3 years ago, Central Visayas, specifically the provinces of Cebu and Bohol, were the pilot sites of a project called Promotion for Green Economic Development, or PROGED for short. Now, project basically aims to support micro, small, and medium enterprises to adopt greening and climate resilience initiatives to enhance their competitiveness. Now, this project is jointly implemented by the Government of the Republic of the Philippines through the Department of Trade and Industry, and Germany through the Ministry for Foreign Economic Cooperation and Development through the GIZ. Today, we come to the end point of the project as we celebrate its culmination. But not after a fruitful 3 years, because the project has now been replicated in 30 other provinces in 7 regions throughout the country. So with these friends, we'd like to warmly welcome all of you to this press conference on the closing event of the project. And joining us right now are the top officials of the frontline agencies behind the success of the project. So without further ado, I'd like to allow me the honor of introducing our distinguished VIPs seated at the presidential table. So since the Philippines is promoting women empowerment, I'd like to start off with acknowledging our ladies first, no? Yes. Actually, we're waiting for our very own Undersecretary of the DTI. She'll join us later. But right now, I'd like to start off with introducing ato na nino, ang atong own active dynamic region director of the Department of Trade and Industry Central Visayas, Director Asteria Caberte.
The end has come. After 3 years of very thorough implementation and replication in the region and to other regions, we are now closing the project, and we'd like to share with you what we have accomplished and maybe to celebrate the themes that we have created, and of course we'd like to showcase the accomplishments of the project.
Thank you very much, Director Caberte. And also joining us is the Director of the Resource Generation and Management Services of the Department of Trade and Industry. Let's all welcome to Cebu, Ms. Lydia Guevara.
The Undersecretary, I heard, has just left the airport. Her flight was delayed, so I'm here with you.
And we are also joined by another regional director, this time from DTI Region 5, Director Jocelyn Blanco.
Really, it is a privilege for me to be invited to this forum or to this press con, because as you all very well know, Region 5 or Bicol region is the welcoming region of all the typhoons coming from the Pacific Ocean. So we are trying to export it though to some other regions, but kidding aside, really, we also would like to celebrate with our donor, GIZ, the success, small and big ones, on the challenges that we have tried to surmount in that part of the Philippines, Bicol region. Again, daghan kayong salamat sa GIZ na na-appeal me, because it is just a step towards even making bigger projects and bigger success towards answering climate change.
Daghang salamat, Director Blanco. Now we move on to acknowledge our distinguished male panelists. Yes. Now, we'd like to welcome to Cebu, but I think it's his 3rd time here, from the German Embassy, Commercial Counselor Dr. Andre Bull.
I'm very happy to be here to I came here yesterday evening, so only for this project, and I think it's a really good and successful project. The German embassy has been supporting this project since the beginning, and I think it's a great success because it helps Philippine economic companies, but also the economic policy to head towards a more green development in the economy. In Germany, we also have a strong economy, and our companies are front runners in environment technologies, climate-friendly technologies, energy efficiency, renewables, and I think we can showcase that climate-friendly policies can make your economy even more successful. So I think it's a great project, and of course we will support it until it will sadly end in a few months. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. From the GIZ Philippines and the Pacific Islands Country Director, Dr. Andreas Kalk. Welcome to Cebu.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I just learned my first sentences in Tagalog. Yeah, but I was told it is more or less useless to utilize it here in the Visayas and in Cebu. Yeah, so I have to greet you in my poor English. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, at least that one works out more or less. Yeah. My second concern is this appearing female male bias here in the panel. Yeah. But let me assure you that we have very nice female colleagues as well in the German embassy, as within the GIZ context, very presentable ones. Yeah, so please take note as pure coincidence. Yeah, that we are separated this way. Yeah, and thirdly, let me just express my gratitude that I can be here. Yeah, I'm in contact since my first day of service, more or less, here 2 years ago in the Philippines. Yeah, I'm always in exchange with Volker. Yeah, I had on several occasions the privilege to visit DTI, and I have the impression that it is first of all a very good partnership between the Philippine and the German side. Yeah, and secondly a very well managed project. Hence, I'm happy to be here. Yeah, maybe you notice I'm the most colorful guy here sitting in front of you. The proof is basically I spent a few days of holidays in Moalboal with my family. Yeah, but when Volker asked me, "Can you come here for this event?" I was very happy to be invited, and it is really a pleasure to be with you. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to your questions and comments.
It's a pleasure to have you here. And lastly, from the GIZ project program manager, we have Dr. Volker Steigerwald.
It's my 10th years in the Philippines now, so I should know that. Yes, maybe one small correction. Actually, we were supposed to have 3 years, but the ministry gave us a 4th year, so it's our 4th year now that we are implementing this. And well, it's of course sad that we are closing down, but we are not closing down green economic development, and we are not closing down promotion of green economic development, because this is taken forward by DTI. It's just that the German contribution to this project will be ending. So no worries about that. I'm very sure, and we will show you later, if you still can stay for the closing event, that DTI is really in charge, and DTI is owning this concept of green economic development very, very strongly. And it's not because only environmental concerns, because it's really looking at it as a means to increase competitiveness, innovation, and sustainability of micro, small, and medium enterprises. So that's why we are happy to have DTI as our partner. And although it's sad that the project comes to an end, as I said, I think there's a lot of progress in this regard, and sustainability is assured.
Daghang salamat, Dr. Steigerwald. Before we proceed, I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Fayette Rinyen of the Philippine Information Agency. And for the information of everybody, we are on delayed broadcast over Radyo ng Bayan Cebu. And likewise, we are on delayed telecast over Channel 30, My TV. So with that, we'd like to, before we accommodate questions from our media friends who are here, we'd like to get some short opening statements from all our panelists, starting with Director Caberte.
just to emphasize the importance of green economic development, I think it is just, I'm bringing good news because yesterday, parang continuation or very much related to our greening project is we just launched yesterday the Visayas Business Forum, which focuses on resiliency for micro, small, and medium enterprises in the Visayas. So, murag lahi na pud na siya nga step. So, another welcome news for all of us.
Maybe hear from Director
okay.
Blanco.
Among the 17 or 18 regions in the country, I think only Region 5 or Bicol region has completed, so to speak, in implementing Pro-GED among its 6 provinces. No, talagang sinadya namin yan, or personally I took it as a task. Dahil alam nyo naman na bagyuhin nga ang lugar namin. And I could still recall in the last big typhoon many years ago before you were born, sometime in 1986. Dugay gud mi nakabangon mga 6 to 8 months. Ngit-ngit tanan, what joy nahitabo. The businesses were really down. And one of the major objectives of Pro-GED is on the advocacy and information awareness. So dinapod mi ni focus, no? And then also in the second, or the LOI2 as we fondly call it, na mag business matching. So mao po na among ibalo sa inyong tanan ron nga, because we take climate change very, very seriously. So, ang among gitanaw nga mo change po ang way of life and even in the conduct of business nga imo dyan ang ibutang sa imong unahuna nga if you do not take care of Mother Earth, then you're up for something. So we are very proud that all provinces of Region 5, namely Albay, ug nahinumdum pa mo sa inyong geography, Camarines Sur, Camarines Norte, Sorsogon, Catanduanes, and Masbate are into this project. Salamat.
Maybe now hear from Director Guevara.
I guess it's obvious that the question is no longer whether green growth is relevant to the industry or MSMEs in general in the Philippines, but how green growth can be included comprehensively and strategically into the different industry policy and industry roadmaps. The main drivers for us to go green, as what the project has espoused and helped DTI to venture into, are of course the market access requirements. We all know that environmental standards are now becoming a requirement in certain markets like the European Union. And also, because of climate change, we cannot disregard its impact, the industry impact on the environment, and we have to do something about it. And also, the demand of the consumers. Consumers are now more conscious of eco-labeled products or buying products that are environmentally sustainable.
Maybe hear from the project manager, Dr. Sagarwal, for your short statements.
I guess we should really keep it short because we would like to answer your questions. So for me, it was a pleasure to work with DTI in the last 4 years. And well, what we have achieved, starting only in Bohol and Cebu, in 2 provinces, now we are working in more than 30 provinces all over the country, with DTI in the front line. In our database, we have more than 550 enterprises, micro, small, and medium enterprises that have included greening strategies into their business concepts, and probably there are more because it's difficult to follow them up and to monitor them. So earlier in 2013, I must admit, we were not sure whether we really can achieve what we wanted to achieve, because everybody told us the micro, small, and medium enterprises, they don't have the funds, and they don't have the awareness. They are not in for green. They are polluting. They are destructing the environment because they have no other chances to do. But what we found more and more is that also the micro, small, and medium enterprises, like also the whole population of the Philippines, are getting more and more aware of issues of climate change, of issues of environmentally consciousness, and of issues that are related to inclusiveness. So this is very encouraging, and I think to link this kind of environmentally consciousness with issues of competitiveness and innovation, that was actually the success factor that we had. And we can showcase many of the MSMEs that have gone green. They are really also innovative. They come up with new products. They come up with new processes, and it helps them really to move forward in the market. So this is the thing, and DTI has fully embraced it. And also under the new secretary that we have, it will continue, because of course Mon Lopez, who was supposed to be here, who wanted to be here, but he's in Japan. He's going with the president to Japan. He's very much an MSME person, a micro, small, and medium enterprise person, and we also have been working with him when he was still with Go Negocio on the greening aspects. So I'm very sure that the whole idea of green economic development, promotion of green economic development, will continue in this country through the DTI.
Thank you very much. Very well said. May we hear now from Dr. Kalk, your opening statement, sir.
Okay, I'm not really prepared for a statement, but sometimes when I speak about climate change, I like to speak about my own family. I have 4 children, yeah. The youngest one is 8 years old only, yeah. Following our German statistics, this daughter has a probability of seeing the year 2100 of roughly 50%. Yeah, as everybody is getting older and older and older. Yeah, my youngest daughter has a 50% probability to see the year 2100. Yeah, and I would like her also, still in her older days, yeah, to have air to breathe, forests to walk in, yeah, and a sea to swim in. And I'm quite confident that Volker's cooperation with the Philippine DTI, yeah, was a small but very interesting contribution in an emerging country, yeah, with smaller enterprises, how we can get to such a world, yeah, and avoid some kind of climate disaster. Maybe it's a little bit pathetic, but when I speak about little daughters, maybe I'm allowed to be a little bit pathetic. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Lastly, we have Dr. Bull.
Yes, thank you. Well, I just would like to take this opportunity to thank the partners in this project. So the DTI for really for the commitment they have now in this field of green economic development. I think it's very good, and also of course thanks to GIZ that implemented this project here in the Philippines for the German Ministry for Economic Cooperation. So this is a very successful project. You can see that the many success stories. I think we will see it later downstairs on the second floor, and I'm really thankful for that. And the Philippines are having such a strong economic boom at the moment, having economic growth rates of 6 to 7% since years. This shows how successful Philippine companies, and 99% of them are MSMEs, already are. And we've seen in Germany maybe in this 1950s, 1960s, 1970s years, we also had a very strong economic growth, but we have done a lot of faults and errors in Germany. Many, the companies, they had a huge economic output, but there have been many sins towards the environment. So I think it would be what we learned out of this is that if you have an economic upswing, you also should focus on really protecting the environment. And as I said before, a company can be very economically successful if you take measures to save energies and other costs. You can save costs, but you also can invent or innovate on climate-friendly technologies in order to, yeah, to be economically successful. So, thank you.
Now we'd like to open the floor to entertain your questions. Now, who would like to shoot the first question and to whom? Please state your name and then who you would like to address your question to. Or I'll do
Mr.
the roll
Alan.
call. Okay. Alan?
Alan Domingo of JME7. Project has been implemented in 2013. In fact, the end has come today. May I know the success rate of the project? And also, may I know the specific impact did this project bring to the life of the Filipinos? Although Undersecretary Maglaya mentioned a while ago that it has an impact on the environment. Which area of the environment, ma'am? What about in the livelihood of the people?
Addressing to Director Guevara.
Yes.
We're still waiting for the arrival of Yusek Maglaya. Go ahead, Director Guevara.
Well, I guess the success of project is changing the mindset of the MSMEs. As we all know, industry or MSME in particular contribute to impact on the environment in terms of wastes, usage of power, and other resources like water. Well, with project, awareness was created among MSMEs on how to green their operations. And greening the operations involve, for example, energy efficiency, use of alternative source of energy, for example, renewable energy like solar energy, to lessen dependence on fossil fuels, which, as we know, emits more carbon dioxide into the environment. Also, more efficient use of water resources through recycling or even collection of rainwater, and also in terms of getting them more into the market, because as I've said earlier, consumers now are more conscious of buying products that are more environmentally sustainable. And with this awareness on going green, as Dr. Volker said earlier, they are taught innovation in terms of the usage of the raw materials in the manufacture of their products, and resource efficiency. So we would say that project is the single project that has initiated this with the Department of Trade and Industry for us to reach out to our beneficiaries, which are to our clients, which are the business, which are the MSMEs, and create that consciousness and awareness to go green and help in the environmental sustainability and also the livelihood of the people.
How did the public embrace the idea? Did they embrace it right away, or was it a major challenge on your part to convince them?
I would defer to the implementers at the local level because they're really in touch with the MSME. So may I ask RD
Director
Albert?
Caberte.
Yeah, it was difficult at the start. Very difficult. Because mindsets were already fixed. But then when we started full speed ahead on trying to sensitize, especially the micro, small, and medium enterprises, a sector which we have a direct hand. Now, it is the word of the. We have really influenced them, especially in the production process. We didn't even have to. It was easier later on because as we continue to promote green economic development, ang atong mga MSMEs mismo, they realize that their market, their buyers are also asking for green products. So it has now become an incentive for them to go for green because it is a requirement of the market. So easier. Bali is the market pressuring them. Exporters are now being asked by their buyers, by their importers, if they have any green initiative in their production process.
May I know how's the relation or the partnership with the local government units when it comes to the implementation of this project?
I hope I can have attempts where we are very successful in sensitizing also our local government units in whatever way, depende na yun sa mga provincial offices. But by doing so, we were able to generate a good number of resolutions. Resolutions from our local government units, from the local legislative bodies, promoting green economic development. So, on their own, our local government units are also trying to take on the role of promoting green economic development. And I would say in that aspect, the project has been very successful.
I think we have a rejoinder from Dr. Steigerwald. Go ahead.
Okay, let me also share a little bit about that. You might remember we started in 2013 in January in Bohol and Cebu. And you might also remember what happened on the 15th of October. That was the earthquake in Bohol and Cebu. And what happened on 9th of November, that was Yolanda. So, and especially in our two provinces, they were of course very much hit. So it was not easy for us, specifically in this situation, actually to ask micro, small and medium enterprises to go green. On the other hand, Yolanda also changed very much the mindset of many people here in this country that something has to happen with regard to climate change. So in the end, when we then move into 2014, when we moved into 2015, you really realize that more and more micro, small and medium enterprises, local government units, also other government agencies were thinking about going into this direction. And for the German Development Corporation, a project like this is always very much monitored. And I just can give you some figures. And basically, if you would stay longer, that's also a possibility. We have infographics down there. We have information about it. The target actually for the project was to reach out to 18 provinces. And we, in the end, reached out to more than 30, number one. The second one, we wanted to have MSME officially, publicly recognized for going green. Actually, we targeted 40 and we reached 75. In international awards, for international and national awards. I was mentioning before, we were targeting 300 MSMEs that really could show that they went green and they improved their competitiveness. In our database now, we have 544. And it was mentioned now already by R.D. Aster. We had as one of our indicators that MSME councils or local councils would pass green resolutions and make green projects. And the target here was 25, and in the end now we are at 31. So again, actually we overachieved all our indicators that we had, and we are really looking into this. So I think this is one of the points that where we can really proud of, and I'm happy to announce this, and I'm happy also, of course, share this with DTI, but also with our other partners. I mean, as we said, LGOs, we work very closely with the city of Cebu, city of Tagbilaran, city of Legazpi. So the LGOs actually are also very much into this direction. More, not so much about, they don't worry about competitiveness, they more worry about disaster risk management, which is also, of course, very important for MSMEs. But then we have so many micro, small and medium enterprises, like for instance, let me mention one, you might all know it, Nature's Legacy here in Cebu. Yeah? You have Avatar, you have EcoStore, you have the different, Marco Polo Hotel is a green hotel. You have West Corodo. So actually there are so many green champions that we have, and this is something where I would say yes, we can really prove that.
Congratulations for surpassing your targets. We have from CDN.
Excuse me, may I just make a very quick
Yes, okay, go ahead.
rejoinder. In Bicol region, it was a different story. We had no difficulty, if at all, in implementing the project. immediately, the MSMEs very much welcome it because they realize that you have to recall also that Bicol region is a handicraft country. The EU market was already requiring the products to be green. Number two, hindi nahirapan kasi alam nila talaga, alam namin mga Bicolano that it's a matter between life and death, no? Of both personally and the business as well. So, lain na mo experience. Now, the other thing is the leadership or the initial successes done in Cebu and Bohol also made our project, mas madaling ma-implement. Kaya daga naman silang experience. So, thank you, friend.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Director Guevara.
Yeah, I would also like to add that project helped us green the roadmaps of 6 industries. As you all know, our Board of Investments has spearheaded the preparation of industry roadmaps. So with project, we went a step ahead. We greened 6 industry roadmaps. Those of plastic, pulp and paper, furniture, automotive, housing, and copper industries.
Go ahead, Victor.
My name is Victor Silva of Cebu Daily News. I would just like to ask, what is your target moving forward? How many more MSMEs do you expect to integrate greening practices in their operations in, let's say, the next 3 years with DTI at the helm already?
Thank you for that question, Victor. So we can be guided with how we'd like to proceed. In the MSME agenda of the DTI, the green economic development is already embedded. We also have created a green growth core group. Is that the right term? Green growth core group, meaning we have to champion the greening initiatives within the department. So with that, we are also very timely, Dr. Volker, on Thursday, we will be crafting a new vision, visioning. We will have a visioning workshop in Manila for the whole department, and I will bring in that workshop, in the visioning process, the green economic development aspect in that strongly this time. Finally, by the way,
yeah.
Dr. Volker, I still have to deliver that promise with the help of Lydia and RD Joy to influence our core plan and not the secretary, our core plan to include the green measures in our deliverables.
Just like to get the brief closing statements of all our panelists, if you like, and if there are any other information that you'd like to relate to our media friends, then I'll start off first with the male now, panelist, Dr. Steigerwald.
Well, for my closing statement, it was a pleasure to live and work in the Philippines for nearly 10 years. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed my work with DTI because, as I said before, DTI is really our partner of choice. And I will have very, very good memories of the MSMEs that we have been working with. I mean, they're not yet crying. It comes later, maybe. But yeah, it's and I really wish this country a bright future. You are at the brink of taking off, and yes. That was mentioned before. In this situation where actually the economy is moving, that's exactly the time when you have to take care of the environment, and you can, because there is income, there's profits, then it can be invested. Not later. Don't follow what we have been doing. That you say we grow first and then we clean up later. That's much more expensive. If from the very start you take care of the environment, and you have such a beautiful environment in this country, it would be really a pity if everything in Philippines would look like Manila.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kalk.
Yeah, thank you. Myself, I like probing questions. Maybe in another life I become a journalist myself. Yeah, I think they are useful in many ways, but basically to stimulate thoughts and discussion. Yeah, I think you asked many of the right questions. I think we could have discussed longer, but myself, I enjoyed. I think we had a good discussion, and I'm grateful that I could participate in that. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bull?
Thank you. I would like to thank all our friends of the media to be here today. And for me, it's a great pleasure to be here also today, because it's my first real contact with this project, even if it's closing now. So I'm really looking forward to our event this afternoon, to see you there later. Thank you very much.
Daghang salamat. Director Blanco? Ay, wala na. Okay na to. Last na to. Okay. Director Caberte, go ahead.
Okay. Maybe in behalf also of our Undersecretary, for the Regional Operations Group of DTI, we have, well, the trouble with hello is goodbye. But we promise the Regional Operations Group, I sit in the core group, green team, green core group, and also in the visioning process which I have. I promise that it's pay forward this time, pay forward. We've been capacitated, and I think, and I am sure that we will be able to move the project, this initiative forward in our regional operations. We just have to do it.
Daghang salamat, Director Caberte. At this point in time, let's give them a big round of applause for the successful implementation of the project. So we just hope, even if the project has ended, we'd still like to see you guys come here to Cebu, explore Cebu. It's a great destination for tourists. So in behalf of PIA, we'd like to thank all our media friends for coming over. Of course, our panelists, beautiful women and handsome men. Daghang salamat.